because I had a couple options that I wanted to go with here, but I think I'm gonna go here where we started. When we started this show, we talked about Ryan Poles and what he's gonna do with the pick, and I kind of want to end where we started
Mm.
because clearly we know that he has a lottery ticket, right? He has that golden ticket, the number one overall pick, and he could really dictate the dominoes after that, especially with the draft is concerned, right? And we talk about that, but no matter what decision he makes at quarterback, his career and how we view him is going to be defined by what he does in the draft in its totality, what he does with that ninth pick that he has that nobody's talking about. Everybody's talking about the number one overall pick. Folks, they have the number 9 pick, and you could get a great, transcendent player with that pick. There's so many great players that was available at 9 and beyond, right? So that pick matters. What they do in free agency, how they, develop, whether it be Caleb, whether it be Justin Fields, that's going to matter. They got money to burn, how they spend. And I think when you talk about Ryan Poles, I'm still trying to figure how I feel about this guy because he has made some moves that I like. For example, signing Montez Sweat mid-season. I believe they gave him a $98 million contract, and I thought it was a good deal right there. I thought he had great compensation for the number 1 overall pick last year. They got the receiver, and DJ Moore. They was able to flex the assets to get, good players in the draft. You could take or leave depending on how y'all feel about this, pick. Donald Wright over Jalen Carter. You could go either way with that one. But there's also moves that I hate, like the Chase Claypool move, where that was a terrible move. Literally the worst move of the season. You could also take it or leave it, the signing of the 2 linebackers. But, I think it was, okay. But I'm still trying to map out who this guy really is. There's one move that he made that I didn't like either, and that is David Montgomery. You didn't sign him. You allowed him to go to your division foe. And Detroit clearly made an impact on Detroit from day one. They made the NFC Championship game. We all know that the NFC North is very weird in the sense that we do see in-division trades, kind of, right? TJ Hawkinson went from the Lions in division to the Vikings and kind of gave them support with more extra weapons for Kirk Cousins, and they got to the playoffs because of that. Had a good season 2 years ago, right? Now, if it comes down to Justin Fields, okay, and Kirk Cousins is on Atlanta, and there's no more options. Luke Getsy is like, no mas, I'm not partnering with Justin Fields. Do you dare trade him within division to the Vikings, who clearly need a quarterback? Let's say they don't sign Russell Wilson, and that's the only team that is going to offer you compensation for Justin Fields. Do you dare do it? Right? These are questions that Ryan Poles is going to have to ask. Okay, so when you talk about Ryan Poles, right, we don't know really if we should believe in this guy. This guy said we're going to run the North. That was the first thing he said when he took the job. Okay, well, now the ball's in your court to prove that. This is a very important offseason for the Chicago Bears, okay? When you look at guys within the division like Brad Holmes, he earned his stripes. He showed me something. Okay, he has had good drafts the last couple of years. He got the Lions to the NFC Championship game. He's earning it and building his equity. But Ryan Poles, are you going to do the same thing? Or are you going to be looked upon like your division foe in Brad Holmes? It starts this offseason. It starts with the number 1 pick. It starts with the number 9 pick. It starts with the free agency moves, the draft moves. Ryan Poles, the book is out. And that's my take for 99 cents.
Yeah, I think he's a very intriguing individual because he's never shy. Like, I feel like every time I turn around, I see like, he's this Jay Glazer story on him or this Peter King story on him. He's very open and he talks with the media a lot. But on that same note, I still feel like there's a whole lot more to learn about him. And I agree. Like, you could look at some moves. You didn't even mention the big trade, getting the number 1 pick in this year's draft and DJ Moore for last year's number 1 pick.
I kind of did mention that, but yeah.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Yeah. So like all those moves. Also, they just tagged Jalen Johnson. Like, he's one of the best corners in the league. Bringing him back, that's gonna be big. Yeah, it's a huge offseason, man. And I think that Viking question is interesting. Like, would he dare do that? That would certainly be a ballsy move, but if that's the most you could get, it might be worth it.
You might have to you might have to allow the Vikings to pay a division tax for that move, where they pay a little extra, maybe a second round pick for Justin Fields to make it go through. But also, he didn't pay Walk-On Smith, right? Walk-On Smith went over to the Ravens, made an immediate impact, got a $100 million deal. And ever since that move for Walk-On Smith, nobody talks about this. Everybody talks about Lamar Jackson. But similar to what we talked about with Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones, Walk-On Smith has equally been impactful to his team. As soon as they made that move, their outlook went up. Okay, it was Lamar Jackson who got hurt last year, that why they sputtered, but their defense definitely was better, and it transferred over to this year and why they went on that run. So once again, he has made moves that are questionable. He has made moves that were good. He has made cheap moves for value. But I think this year, this is the most important offseason of the Chicago Bears franchise. And he's either going to be looked upon as a hero and as one of the best GMs, or he might be looking for another job.
Yeah, and we remember, too, the last time the Bears were in the spot trying to draft a prominent quarterback, they took Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. So the history isn't with them, but I do think the situation is good, and the ball's in his court. There's no doubt. All right, Lil, I will give you my take for 99. I actually am going to go to the NBA for this one, and it's kind of a random take. We've spoken about a lot of teams. We spoke about all the Eastern teams, and are they contenders to Boston? We spoke about all the West teams. Are they contenders to Denver? But I want to go to a team in the doldrums. As a matter of fact, they are in last place in the Western Conference right now, and I'm going to San Antonio. And my take for 99 is, and I know this is kind of random, but Victor Wembanyama is one of the most remarkable athletes I've ever seen. And if he could stay healthy, I think he's a lock to be the best player in the NBA in 5 years. This dude is absolutely ridiculous. He's 7'4". He can handle the ball. He's shooting threes. His numbers as a rookie are pretty insane. He's averaging 20.9 points per game, 10.2 rebounds per game. He's leading the league in blocks per game with 3.4. And I just think this player is unlike anything I've ever seen before. And I know he just got there, but the Spurs better not mess this up. This guy is a generational talent. He's a generational player. I think when the Spurs get better, this is going to be a team that's going to be on ESPN and TNT every other week, because he's just a must-see TV item. And I've just never seen a player like him ever. And I think he's a lock to be the best player in the league sooner rather than later. The Spurs, you're a historically great franchise, I get it, but a lot of that has to do with Greg Popovich and the culture he brought, the culture he built. He's an older guy. I don't really know how much time he has left, but I think San Antonio is going to become a destination too, where there are going to be players just lining up to play with this guy because he's that good and he's that fun to watch. I'm all in on Wemby. I think he's a generational talent, and I think he's going to live up to the hype.
Yeah, I like that take, man. We'll see if, he's going to keep Pop coaching, because he's that, transcendent of a talent, which clearly so far he is. And, you mentioned the numbers, but you ain't mentioned the minutes. He's not even playing a lot of minutes like that. They starting to, give him more minutes now, but he was putting
he's averaging 28.7 minutes per game.
He was putting up, not even playing over 30 minutes per game. So that's impressive. Imagine him playing over 35 minutes a game. How those numbers could skyrocket even further. It's insane. And I think there's a lot of talk and a lot of questions that was asked, especially this one particular question after the All-Star game, post LeBron James, who's going to be the face of the NBA. Trendy topic right there. You could go Anthony Edwards there. He has the moxie to be it, and he has the talent to be it. Right? You could go Luka. You could go. I mean, there's a lot of.
Would you put Tatum? Would you put Tatum in that mix? Or no?
No, I won't put Tatum in there. I don't think Tatum is on that level, with all due respect. I kind of think we talked about it too funny earlier. But Tatum took on that challenge. He wants to be known as that. He clearly had, he wants to win an MVP. He wants to be the face of the league. But I think Wemby might have to be the front runner for me. I agree with you 1000% because of skill. We never seen a guy with that size do what he does. And I think being a star, especially being a global star, is being something that we never seen before. That's how you draw people in. We never seen nobody like LeBron James before. We never seen nobody like Steph Curry before. right? Steph Curry changed the game. That's why he became the face of the league. Him and LeBron James, they shared that together because we never seen one of them before, right? Like, you got to think about it from that perspective. And if we do see one of you, then you got to be great. And that's why Kobe was the face of the league at one point, because even though we seen Michael Jordan and Kobe, right, or Kobe and Michael Jordan, he was different and he won on top of that. So winning has to be in this category as well. But I think Wemby, once he continues to develop and the Spurs build around him and they start winning, that talent combined by winning will make him the face of the NBA.
Can't disagree.
And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another episode of 99 Pod. It was a good one. And Zach, I understand the next couple of weeks, as March Madness arrives, we're going to be working on a tight schedule. But I'm looking forward to the next episode that we do.
Yes, sir, man. Always a great time. Thought it was a great show today, and looking forward to getting back at it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. And on to the next one. Peace out. Peace.